Welcome to the Mandatory Road Signs Quiz. Hello and welcome to Indian Road Guide. Today we're testing your knowledge of mandatory traffic signs, the most important signs every driver must obey on Indian roads. These signs tell you what you must do while driving, whether it's stopping, turning, following speed limits, or avoiding restricted areas. Ignoring these signs can lead to fines, accidents, or even license suspension. Are you ready to prove your road safety skills? Each question will have three options. Choose the correct one. Keep track of your score and challenge your friends. Let's get started and see how well you know India's mandatory road signs. What does the stop sign indicate? Options are halt at the sign, slow down, proceed cautiously. The answer is halt at the sign. The stop sign requires vehicles to come to a complete stop before proceeding. What should you do at a giveaway sign? Options are speed up, slow down, and yield to others. Ignore it. The answer is slow down and yield to others. The give way sign requires drivers to slow down and give way to other vehicles on the main road. What does the no entry sign mean? Options are entry is restricted in one way, parking allowed, and speed limit. The answer is entry is restricted in one way. The no entry sign prohibits entry into a specific road from one or both directions. What does a speed limit sign indicate? Options are minimum speed limit, maximum speed limit, and parking limit. The answer is maximum speed limit. The speed limit sign specifies the maximum speed allowed on that stretch of road. What does a no parking sign indicate? Options are parking is allowed, parking is prohibited, and parking is limited. The answer is parking is prohibited. The no parking sign prohibits vehicles from stopping or parking in the designated area. What does the U-turn prohibited sign indicate? Options are U-turn is allowed, U-turn is prohibited, and left turn only. The answer is U-turn is prohibited. The U-turn prohibited sign forbids vehicles from making a U-turn. What does the vehicle prohibited in one-way sign mean? Options are entry in one direction, entry allowed, and entry restricted. The answer is entry in one direction. Vehicles are not allowed to enter a one-way road from the indicated direction. What does the vehicle prohibited in both ways sign mean? Options are entry restricted for all, entry restricted for trucks, and entry restricted for cycles. The answer is entry restricted for all. This sign indicates that no vehicle is allowed in either direction on this road. What does the all motor vehicles prohibited sign mean? Options are trucks only, all motor vehicles restricted, and cycles allowed. Answer is all motor vehicles restricted. The sign prohibits all types of motorized vehicles. What does the trucks prohibited sign mean? Options are all vehicles restricted, only trucks restricted, and only cycles restricted. Answer is only trucks restricted. This sign prohibits trucks or heavy goods vehicles from entering the road. What does the width limit sign specify? Options are maximum vehicle length, maximum vehicle height, and maximum vehicle width. Answer is maximum vehicle width. This sign indicates the maximum permissible width for vehicles on a specific stretch of road. What does the height limit sign specify? Options are maximum height of vehicles, minimum weight of vehicles, and maximum width. Answer is maximum height of vehicles. This sign specifies the maximum allowable height for vehicles to avoid damage under low clearance areas. What does the no overtaking sign mean? Options are overtaking is allowed, overtaking is prohibited, and turn left only. Answer is overtaking is prohibited. The sign prohibits overtaking vehicles to ensure safety on narrow or dangerous roads. What does the no stopping or standing sign indicate? Options are stopping is allowed, stopping or standing is not allowed, and standing only. Answer is stopping or standing is not allowed. This sign prohibits vehicles from stopping or standing in the designated area to maintain traffic flow. What does the compulsory bus stop sign mean? Options are buses must stop here, no buses allowed, and optional stop for buses. Answer is buses must stop here. This sign designates a mandatory stop for buses to pick up or drop off passengers. What does the compulsory cycle track sign indicate? Options are optional cycle track, dedicated lane for cyclists, and all vehicles allowed. Answer: it's dedicated lane for cyclists. This sign designates a specific track for cyclists, prohibiting other vehicles from entering. What does the restriction ends sign mean? Options are all restrictions end here, parking prohibited, and speed limit ends here. Answer is all restrictions end here. This sign indicates that previously imposed restrictions, such as speed limits, no entry, or other prohibitions, have ended. What does the compulsory turn left sign mean? Options are turn left is optional, mandatory left turn, and U turn allowed. Answer is mandatory left turn. This sign directs vehicles to take a left turn at the indicated location. What does the compulsory ahead sign indicate? Options are U turn allowed, proceed straight only, and left turn required. Answer is proceed straight only. The sign directs vehicles to move straight ahead without turning. What does the bullock carts and hand carts prohibited sign mean? Options are only motor vehicles allowed, bullock carts and hand carts restricted, and cycles restricted. Answer is bullock carts and hand carts restricted. This sign restricts the movement of bullock carts and hand carts on the specified road. What does the Tongass prohibited sign mean? Options are Tongass are allowed, Tongass are restricted, and cycles prohibited. Answer is Tongass are restricted. The sign prohibits the movement of the Tongass, that is, horse drawn carriages, on the road. What does the cycles prohibited sign indicate? Options are all vehicles restricted, cycles are restricted, and pedestrians allowed. Answer is cycles are restricted. The sign restricts bicycles from entering the road for safety or traffic reasons. What does the pedestrians prohibited sign mean? Options are pedestrians allowed, pedestrians restricted, and cycles restricted. Answer is pedestrians restricted. The sign prohibits pedestrians from walking on the road to ensure safety. What does the left turn prohibited sign indicate? Options are left turn is allowed, left turn is prohibited, and U turn is prohibited. Answer is left turn is prohibited. This sign forbids vehicles from making a left turn at the specified location. What does the right turn prohibited sign indicate? Options are right turn is allowed, right turn is prohibited, and no U turn. Answer is right turn is prohibited. This sign prohibits vehicles from turning right at the junction. What does the horns prohibited sign mean? Options are use, horn as needed, honking is prohibited, and horn is compulsory. Answer is honking is prohibited. The sign restricts the use of vehicle horns to maintain a quiet environment in areas like hospitals or schools. What does the load limit sign specify? Options are maximum vehicle height, maximum permissible weight, and maximum vehicle length. Answer is maximum permissible weight. This sign indicates the maximum weight limit that a vehicle can carry on that road. What does the axle load limit sign specify? Options are maximum load per axle, maximum width of the vehicle, and maximum height. Answer is maximum load per axle. The sign specifies the maximum weight limit per axle to prevent damage to roads and bridges. What does the length limit sign indicate? Options are minimum length of vehicles, maximum permissible length, and maximum permissible height. Answer is maximum permissible length. This sign sets the maximum allowable length for vehicles or combinations such as trailers. What does the compulsory ahead or turn left sign mean? Options are straight or left turn required. Right turn is optional. and U-turn allowed. Answer is straight or left turn required. This sign allows drivers to either move straight or turn left, but prohibits other movements. What does the compulsory ahead or turn right sign mean? Options are straight or right turn required. Left turn is optional and U-turn prohibited. Answer is straight or right turn required. The sign instructs vehicles to either continue straight or turn right. What does the compulsory turn left ahead sign mean? Options are left turn required immediately, mandatory left turn ahead, and right turn is prohibited. Answer is mandatory left turn ahead. This sign alerts drivers of a mandatory left turn coming up shortly. What does the compulsory turn right ahead sign mean? Options are right turn required immediately, right turn ahead mandatory, and left turn prohibited. Answer is right turn ahead mandatory. This sign indicates that vehicles must take a right turn at the upcoming junction. What does the bullock carts prohibited sign mean? Options are bullock carts are allowed, bullock carts are restricted, and only cycles are restricted. Answer is bullock carts are restricted. This sign prohibits the movement of bullock carts on the specified road to ensure traffic flow. What does the hand carts prohibited sign mean? Options are hand carts are allowed, hand carts are restricted, and pedestrians are restricted. Answer is hand carts are restricted. The sign restricts the movement of hand carts on the specified road. What does the compulsory sound horn sign indicate? Options are use of horn is optional, honking is prohibited, and honking is mandatory. Answer is honking is mandatory. This sign mandates the use of the vehicle horn, especially in areas like blind turns or narrow roads. What does the compulsory turn right sign mean? Options are turn right is optional, right turn is mandatory, and left turn is prohibited. Answer is right turn is mandatory. This sign directs drivers to take a right turn at the specified location. Congratulations on completing the mandatory science quiz. How did you do? Were you able to identify all the must follow traffic signs correctly? If you scored high, great job. You're on the right track to being a responsible driver. If you missed a few, don't worry. Understanding traffic signs is key to safe driving, and learning never stops. Want to improve your knowledge? Watch our detailed videos explaining each road sign. Share this quiz with your friends and family. Spread road safety awareness. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Indian Road Guide for more quizzes, traffic rules, and road safety tips. Stay safe, follow the rules, and drive responsibly. See you in the next quiz.